How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to do a rematch of Hawkeye versus Absorbing Man on Heroic difficulty. Posted one video of this matchup already. Had two games in there, lost both of them. The first one was with the Blizzard modular set, and then the second one was with Hydra Patrol, which is the recommended one. So that game was close enough where I feel like the win should be possible. If we had different encounter cards on the very last turn of the game, we would have had the win. There were several that would have stopped me there, but close enough that I think it could be possible, so let's try again. So we've discarded until we got an environment. We got Dense Forest. This is giving Absorbing Man wood, which is the worst trait for him to have because of the encounter card that gets worse, I think Piercing Thorns, when he's got wood. And the forced response on an undefended attack is 1 indirect damage. Felt like I was missing something. I'm missing dials. Let's get that. All right, opening hand. Looking for some way to clear super absorbing power, hopefully. All right, so Professor X, literally the perfect card for that. Command Team's an interesting keep. I would need to draw a double resource to play both, but that would be a good, solid start. Sonic Arrow, well, okay, no, Sonic Arrow is just completely redundant with Professor X confusing. I'll keep a Command Team. Gives me interesting play if I do draw a double resource. Oh, sorry. I need a resource to get the bow as well. So that doesn't leave me enough to do Command Team. So I think I just do a full mulligan. Yeah, let's do a full mulligan. All right, well, I obviously want to get the bow, but if I didn't get the bow, I could do Maria Hill and Professor X. It's honestly not the craziest thing not to get the bow. Could also do Nick Fury, Professor X. Yeah, I'm gonna not get the bow here. So let's pay 2 for Maria, draw a card, pay 3 for Professor X, confuse Absorbing Man, thwart for 3, thwart for 2, and then I could either, well, if I flip to get in an attack, that makes use of Professor X as a blocker. If I stay, I get the extra hand size. Let's just flip and attack for 2. And end the turn. Thwarting is also relatively hard to come by, so good to get in a cadence of alternating forms. 1 threat on the main scheme, 1 delay counter. Absorbing Man attacks, Professor X blocks. If he has the ice or metal trait, he gets a tough status, and he has neither. And 2 encounter cards. Swinging Stone is going to be another attack. I don't want to take an undefended attack, so let's just have Maria Hill block. And Boost put this card into play. Now he's got the metal trait. And the forced response here is discard a resource icon from hand. And then Omnimorph Duplication, he's got metal, so give Absorbing Man a tough status and heal 1 damage from him. All right, so that is not bad at all. Still got nothing to show for myself here after this first turn, but Next turn will look really good because we got unconfused. We've got the main scheme really low. So let's pay 1 for the quiver. And let's activate the quiver while we're in hero form, just to load it up with something good. Let's get either Sonic or Electric. I think I like my ally situation still. We've still got, how many make the call do we have left? 2 make the call. Maybe I do get the stun one. I'll have slingshot to block next turn. I'll get the confuse. I'll get sonic arrow. And I could either play command team and get the bow, or slingshot. I'm just going to play slingshot. Honestly, well, I mean, command team's kind of what the deck's about a little bit. Let's play command team. So I'm going to pay 2 for command team. Helps us just take full advantage of like Grant. It's going to be great with make the calls. So let's actually thwart for 1. Flip down, spend a resource to get the bow, and end the turn. One threat, 1 delay counter. Absorbing Man is confused. 2 encounter cards. Hydra Patrol, when defeated. Gotta get a Hydra minion. Advance, and scheme for 2, plus a boost of 1. Alright, so going well so far, not a terrible amount of pressure. Oh, geez, I didn't even draw my hand. Okay. I didn't get any blocker, but I did draw electric arrow, so I'm gonna play that electric arrow. Let's flip to hero form. Let's use the quiver. The secret ability of Hawkeye's quiver is to make your deck better by getting all of your arrow events out. Kind of a little joke there for you. Let's get cable arrow. Cable arrow is like a really nice thing to just have on demand. But I'm looking at Quinn Carrier this turn. This looks kind of nice. I've got Grant with a couple ways to discard him. Yeah, I got a lot of options here. I really like the idea of just continuing to build with Quinn Carrier because that's such a weak point for Hawkeye. It's going to make us much more resilient to some of the harder turns that are going to come. So like if I spent 3 on Quinn Carrier, I can spend Possibly could be a double bow turn. Or I'm one resource inefficient and I just play Grant and you got this. Yeah, I think that's significantly better. Could still play Cable Arrow. Oh, but I don't have a blocker if I'm not playing Electric Arrow. No, that doesn't do anything. Well, if I don't play Quinn Carrier, play some good stuff, but I don't think that's worth it. Okay. Pay 3 for Quinn Carrier. Maybe do I ever just keep Grant in hand? Sure. The Hawkeye will attack off the tough. We'll pay 2 for Electric Arrow, dealing 3 damage and stunning. End the turn. So this is far more set up than I've been in my first video games. And now we've got to make the call to do whatever we want. So 1 threat on the main scheme, go up to 3 delay counters. Absorbing Man is stunned. 2 encounter cards. Icy Grip, you are stunned. If Absorbing Man has the ice trait, take 2 indirect damage. He does not have the ice trait. Swinging Stone, this is going to be an attack. Doesn't get the buff here, but it is going to be an undefended attack unless I defend. But it's a pretty bad use of my activation, especially when I'm stunned. So I think I've just got to take it, and I'll have to discard a resource from my hand. So I'll take the attack for 2 plus a boost. Oh, look at this. 2 plus a boost of put this card into play. So now now I only take 2 damage. And let's see here. So this is now giving him stone. If Absorbing Man has the stone trait, he gets +1 attack for this activation. So it might be too late for that to trigger, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it is supposed to trigger, and we'll certainly just Grim Rule it to say that he does get +1. So I'll take 3, and then it was an undefended attack, so he'll heal 1 now, but that's much preferable to discarding a card from hand. Okay, so I've got Make the Call. If I go to Alter Ego form, I won't be able to use the block from either Professor X or Nick. I could maybe stay in hero form though. I kind of want to get Nick instead of Professor X. We can take care of this Hydra Patrol right away. Yeah, let's do that. So make the call, paying 1, 2, 3, 4 for Nick. Draw 3. Okay, command team is really interesting. This could let me make the call for a full grant, which I actually think is pretty good. My other options are also potentially good though. Because Sonic Arrow for the Confuse could be nice. I'm going to attack to remove my stun, that's no doubt. I could make the call for Maria and play Sonic Arrow. That sounds really good. If I had like, well, I don't know. Okay, make the call, paying 2 for Maria. Draw a card. Ooh. Okay, change of plans. Pay 1 for Expert Marksman. So now we've got Nick to thwart 2 on Hydra Patrol. When defeated, we're going to go find a Hydra regular. And this is a put into play, so we do not have to trigger the Insight 1. We'll ready Nick with command team, and then attack the Hydra regular for 2. Maria Hill will thwart for 2. And then we will spend Expert Marksman to Cable Arrow the main scheme, giving us a very comfortable, well, no, I guess I still want to use up Nick's block. Would have a very comfortable flip to Alter Ego here now, but let's just make use of Nick's block and stay in hero form. But this is already looking so much better than my first couple games, so very optimistic here. One threat, 1 delay counter. Absorbing Man attacks, Nick blocks, takes a lot of damage. 2 encounter cards. Avalanche. So we either spend an energy, which I've got some in hand, or take 2 indirect damage. So if we just look at what we've got in hand, we've got 4 to play Goliath, 2 to play a Sonic Arrow, and 1 to waste. So actually I will just spend a energy resource. Card number 2 is Advance. We pulled both advances, but we're still pretty safe on the main scheme the way this game has gone. Scheme is for 2 plus a boost of 1. All right, so I'll just do exactly what I said there. I might go ahead and recover actually. Damage can kind of creep up on you in this scenario, especially if we draw Shadow of the Past. And now we've got our win condition in play. 1, 2, 3, 4 with Goliath. We'll go Marksman +1 from hand to play Sonic Arrow, dealing 3 to Absorbing Man and Confused. Goliath will thwart Avalanche for 2. And with Command Team out, I mean, we've got 10 attack whenever we want it now. And I mean, you can make the case that I should just start attacking here because we've got Goliath. This can be a lot of damage out of nowhere. I think it's a little soon. We got a 3 encounter card turn coming. Oh, well, okay, I haven't even used my quiver. Only 1 card left, though. I'll flip and recover. And end the turn. So we go through the deck, get an encounter card. We're out of advances. I know we saw one of the extra activations that's on the card that buffs him if he's stone. Yikes, this is not a great hand. Call for backup might go a long way this hand, though. Call for backup into Cable Arrow. We can do anything. So 1 threat on the main scheme. We're up to 5 delay counters now, so some things in the encounter deck are now worse. Absorbing Man is confused. 3 encounter cards. Exhaustion. Into Steel Kick, place 2 threat on the main scheme, 3 if he's metal, which he's not. So main scheme's up to 7. Stall Tactics. There is 5 threat on the main scheme, so we put 1 threat on the main scheme for every 2 delay counters. So that'll be 2 threat. So we are up to 9. Assault Surges. Snowy Hillside swaps the environment and surges. Hydra Regulars got Insight 1. So all of a sudden there's 10 threat on the main scheme. But we can deal with that. So flip to hero form. Let's just kick it off with a quiver. Miss. Pay 1 for Call for Backup. So I think it's probably Nick. There's a small chance Professor X is better. That doesn't give me a clean way to deal with Hydra Regular. So let's get Nick. So Marksman for Cable Arrow. Haven't been exhausting my bow because usually I haven't been presented the opportunity to play 2 arrows in 1 turn. But I'll do it this time just to remember that I can't do it again. So remove 3 threat from a scheme. We'll clear Call for Backup. Search up Nick. And draw 3 cards. Guess I could have waited on the quiver for it to have Nick out of the deck. Very small optimization. But I mean, depending on what I got, I might have wanted to play a different arrow. So, all right, draw 3. Okay, command team is a nice draw. Okay, not too much more that I can do though. All right, well, if Nick take out the Hydra regular. Command team Nick. Thwart for 2. Goliath thwarts for 2. Takes away some of the combo potential with him now because he'll die to his next attack. But I think I need to do that thwarting. Well, I think I'll make the call in hand. But let's pay 1 for Expert Marksman number 2. And pay 2 for Command Team. So do I keep Electric Arrow in hand? It's a decent play. I've got the quiver though, which should be finding me arrows. I think I'm going to keep it. And end the turn. One on the main scheme. 1 delay counter up to 6. Sorry. Absorbing Man attacks, Nick blocks. 2 encounter cards. Still Shadow of the Past in here, still Under Fire in here. There's the Ball and Chain, which isn't that bad. And a Hydra Soldier will have guard. So I've got to clear that if I want to arrow Absorbing Man. Let's start with a quiver. Okay, Sonic Arrow. I think I probably just make the call Nick again. I could do some more interesting things. I could cheat Slingshot into play and you got this. That's not going to be very efficient. Let's just get Nick, and I can keep 1 card in hand. I'll keep Electric Arrow. Yeah, the rest are just allies, and I'm full. So, all right, pay 4 to make the call Nick. Draw 3. Oof, just a lot more allies. So I might sacrifice an ally here. All right, Nick attacks Hydra Soldier for 2. Ready with command team. Attack the Hydra Soldier again. Get an encounter card. So I think I play Professor X from hand. Oh no, that's kind of redundant with the Sonic Arrow. So I could ready Nick Fury, activate him again. I guess stunning is kind of bad when we've got Nick ready to block or Professor X ready to block. I could let Maria Hill die and make the call Maria. Or I could just Sonic Arrow for a big chunk of damage. Because if... At the point where I've just got a lot of redundant blocks. I've got a stun and blocks from the temporary allies, which are redundant. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll thwart for 2 with Maria. Let's make the call Maria. Part of me wants to keep Professor X to play next turn. Part of me wants to keep Mockingbird to shuffle Ball and Chain, which is like a complete whiff of an encounter card, back into the encounter deck. Only one more make the call in the deck. Also, the other Sonic Arrow still in the deck. Looking at confuse options. All right, I'll do it like this. So make the call for Maria. Draw. Spend Mockingbird as a physical to shuffle Ball and Chain into the deck. Hawkeye will just attack for 3. Maria Hill and Goliath will each thwart for 2. Down to 1. But that can get up in a hurry, as we've seen. And, okay, yep. Expert Marksman's to Sonic Arrow Absorbing Man, dealing 3 down to 3, and Confused. And I think I stay in hero form to use Nyx block. Uh-oh. Atrocious hand. All 3 double resources. So, depending on how bad this goes. Well, it could be just a double bow turn. That might not be so bad. So 1 threat, 1 delay. Attacks, Nick blocks, no boost ability. And there's the, oh no, sorry, that's the indirect damage / threat card. All right, so very bad hand to deal with the Under Fire or Shadow of the Past. Assault, let's block with Maria. Piercing Thorns, discard 1 card at random from hand. All right, well this is one of the best possible hands to draw this on, but as long as we don't hit Vibranium Arrow. So 1 through 5, we hit the Vibranium Arrow. And Avalanche will happily spend an energy from hand as the option. So, I mean, we've avoided Under Fire and Shadow of the Past very luckily. Which probably just means we'll get them both on the same turn now upcoming. All right, let's use the quiver. Hope to find something to play. There we go. Let's get Vibranium Arrow. Honestly, not far from lethal here. We've got 1 turn to survive, got a lot of damage over this turn and the next. Let's just have a look at the deck while I'm shuffling. There's a good amount of damage in here. Sonic Arrow, 2 Explosive Arrows, Make the Call, Last Stand, 2 Last Stands. So yeah, we've got a very good chance to win here. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to keep any of these doubles in hand. I will keep this Last Stand in hand. But let's attack for 3 to advance Absorbing Man. Comes in with 16 health. We'll Vibranium Arrow for 6 damage. Down to 10. And man, if I had anything else, I've got 8 damage from hand, but unfortunately, that's all it is. If we had rolled a different number, we would win. I guess if we lost Last Stand, if I'd rolled any of those double resources, we would have won this turn. But let's go to Alter Ego and discard both of these at end of turn. All right, lots of damage there. Hope we survive. 1 threat, 1 delay counter, Absorbing Man confused, 2 encounter cards, Ball and Chain, and Piercing Thorns. We'll discard a card from hand again, but we've got plenty this time. So 1, we discard a Last Stand. And let's finish off with an arrow. So let's Goliath with a action on Goliath to give him 5 attack. Last Stand to give him 8. And then we'll finish it off with an Explosive Arrow. Okay, so there we go. I mean, just solid opening turns. Nick Fury's, Professor X's, pretty good encounter cards. I mean, this one you get, geez, literally the bottom 2 cards, Under Fire and Shadow of the Past. You saw me shuffle though, I promise. And even Hydra Soldier. I mean, Hydra Soldier is one of the worst cards in the deck. And 2 of those were buried at the bottom as well. So, yeah, I mean, judge me as you wish for a pretty easy ordering of the encounter deck there. But a win is a win, and I paid my dues in the last video with some losses. So you play enough, eventually you'll get a game like this. So it took me 3 attempts, 2 attempts with the Hydra Patrol modular set instead of Blizzard, which was maybe too hard to start with. Did I play Grant at all this game? I don't think I actually played Grant this game. I did some cool turns with him in that first video, so sorry that this one didn't really show off what I was trying to do with the deck much. This was just kind of the classic Nick Fury, make the call, Maria Hill, loop those cards over and over again for value kind of deck performance. But it's a cool deck overall, and yeah, Hawkeye is still pretty insular character with his arrows, not interacting with the deck at all, so just not the best to play, but happy to knock out a win here for my heroic challenge with one of the weaker heroes, leaving me my more powerful options for the more difficult scenarios. Hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.